the Monkey King who tried to turn heaven upside down. Fun Kids adventure story. High above the clouds lived a mischievous monkey so powerful that he challenged the gods themselves. His name was Sun Wukong, the Monkey King, and today we're going to see how he almost turned heaven upside down. Long ago, on the bright and beautiful Flower Fruit Mountain, lived a monkey unlike any other. His name was Sun Wukong, and he was playful, brave, and just a little too mischievous for his own good. Wukong spent his days leaping from tree to tree, racing the wind and playing tricks on anyone he could find. When the other monkeys napped, Wukong practiced somersaults. When the birds sang, he tried to sing louder. And when there was nothing to do, well, that was usually when trouble began. One sunny day, Wukong stretched on a tree branch and sighed. "I am so bored," he groaned. "I have eaten every peach, raced every monkey, and even counted all the clouds." Suddenly, his eyes sparkled. "I know. I will visit the palace of the Eastern Sea. Surely they must have something interesting to play with." When Wukong arrived at the palace of the Eastern Sea, he marched right through the giant golden gates as if he owned the place. Inside, the Sea Emperor sat on his throne, looking very serious and important. His long beard floated in the water like a silver cloud. Suddenly he saw a monkey strolling into the royal hall. "What is a monkey doing in my palace?" the emperor thundered. Wukong scratched his head and grinned. "Hello, I'm looking for a nice stick to play with. Do you have one?" Wukong looked around the grand palace. Pearls hung from the ceiling, sea dragons curled around the columns, and guards stood stiff as statues. Then Wukong spotted a huge, shining pillar supporting the roof. He rubbed his chin and grinned. That pillar looks like a perfect toy." Wukong grinned, rolled up his sleeves, and grabbed the giant pillar. The Sea Emperor frowned. "Monkey, what are you doing?" Wukong wiggled the pillar once. He wiggled it twice. Then, crack! The pillar slid right out of the ceiling. With a mighty tug, Wukong pulled the pillar out of the ceiling. Boom! The palace roof began to shake. Shell lamps rattled, sea dragons wobbled on the walls, and guards slipped on the wet floor. The Sea Emperor jumped from his throne, his beard flying in every direction. "You smelly monkey," he shouted. "That pillar is holding up my palace." Wukong spun the pillar in his hands. "What a perfect toy," he laughed. He leaped onto the palace steps and began swinging the pillar like a kung fu master, twirling it so fast that the water swirled like a whirlpool. The guards gasped. The Sea Emperor turned red with anger. "Stop that monkey," he roared. The guards rushed toward him with spears and nets. Wukong scratched his head and laughed. "Too slow," he shouted. Then he bent his knees and made a giant somersault through the air, flipping right over the soldiers, the palace gates, and the swirling waves outside. Wukong's eyes grew wide. His tail shot straight into the air. Because the monkey had stolen the great pillar, the Emperor of the Eastern Sea now had a very unusual problem. The roof of his palace was beginning to sag, wobble, and creak. The poor emperor had no choice but to stand underneath it and hold it up with his own thick arms. "Oh, my royal back," he groaned. Then he spotted Monkey racing across the waves, happily twirling the golden stuff. "Hey!" the emperor shouted. "Give me back my pillar, you smelly monkey!" But Monkey only laughed. "Catch me if you can," he called, doing a flip in the air. Away he sped across the ocean, 10,000 miles in the blink of an eye, all the way back to Flower Fruit Mountain. Meanwhile, the Emperor of the Eastern Sea kept holding up the ceiling. "My arms are getting tired," he grumbled. At last he yelled for a messenger. "Quick, go to the Jade Emperor in heaven," he ordered. "Tell him that wicked monkey has stolen my palace pillar, and now my roof is about to fall on my head." The messenger hurried to the heavenly palace and bowed before the Jade Emperor. "Your Majesty," he cried, "the palace of the Eastern Sea is falling down because Sun Wukong, the monkey, stole the Emperor's pillar. Please send your heavenly soldiers to capture him." The Jade Emperor stroked his long beard and thought for a moment. Then a small, clever smile appeared on his face. "I have a better idea," he said. The next day he summoned Sun Wukong to heaven. When Monkey arrived, he bowed politely, though his tail kept swishing excitedly. "Sun Wukong," said the Jade Emperor grandly, "I am appointing you to a very important position. From today on, you will be the official keeper of the heavenly horses. There will be 1,000 horses under your care." Monkey's eyes grew wide with delight. "Your Highness," he said, bowing again, "I am deeply honored to receive such a high rank." "Excellent," said the Jade Emperor. "But first," he added calmly, "you must return the pillar you borrowed from the Emperor of the Eastern Sea." "Oh, that old thing?" Monkey said. He tossed the goldenrod high into the air. With a flash of magic, it grew longer and thicker, turning back into the enormous pillar. It flew across the sky, over the ocean, and landed perfectly back in the Eastern Sea Palace. The Sea Emperor quickly slid it back into place and wiped sweat from his forehead. "Finally," he sighed. Meanwhile, Monkey began his new job in heaven, and he worked very hard. He brushed the horses, fed the horses, counted the horses, and even sang cheerful songs to the horses. All day long he hummed happily. "Best job in heaven," Monkey said proudly. One afternoon, 2 heavenly officials invited Monkey to join them for a snack. Monkey happily agreed. Unfortunately for the heavenly kitchen, Monkey had a very large appetite. He ate the dumplings, he ate the peaches, he ate the cakes, he even finished the tea snacks meant for tomorrow. At last, he leaned back with a satisfied sigh. Then Monkey asked proudly, "Tell me something. Just how high is my rank as horsekeeper?" The 2 officials looked at each other. Then suddenly they burst into laughter. They nudged each other and tried to stop giggling. "Don't you know?" one said between laughs. "That job is the lowest position in all of heaven." And the other added, "You're basically the royal stable boy." Monkey blinked. His smile slowly disappeared. His ears twitched, and his tail stood straight up. Uh-oh, the trouble was just beginning. "How dare the Jade Emperor trick me?" he shouted. "The great Sun Wukong, the bravest monkey under heaven, a horsekeeper?" Wukong planted his golden staff under the edge of the heavenly palace and began to lift. "Maybe I should turn this place upside down," he said with a grin. The heavenly officials screamed and ran in every direction, grabbing pillars, doors, and even the Emperor's throne. "Hold the palace steady," one shouted. "Don't let the monkey flip it," cried another. The heavenly officials ran in circles, grabbing pillars and walls. "Hold the palace steady," one shouted. "Don't let the monkey flip it," cried another. "Wait, wait," the Jade Emperor called. "There is no need to turn the palace upside down." The heavenly palace creaked as Wukong lifted it with its golden staff. Heavenly officials ran everywhere, grabbing pillars, curtains, and even the Emperor's throne. "Hold the palace steady," one cried. "We're going to fall into the clouds," shouted another. Finally, the Jade Emperor raised his hand for silence. "Sun Wukong," he said calmly, "there is no need to turn my palace upside down. From this day on, you shall be known as the Great Sage, equal to heaven." Wukong froze. His ears twitched. Wukong proudly thought himself the Great Sage, equal to heaven. "Did you say equal to heaven?" he asked. The Jade Emperor nodded wisely. "Yes, a title worthy of a brave and powerful monkey." Wukong grinned so wide, his cheeks nearly touched his ears. "Well then," he laughed, lowering the palace back into place. "If I'm equal to heaven, I suppose I shouldn't break it." The heavenly officials slowly let go of the pillars, sighing with relief. But as they walked away, Wukong scratched his head and said, "By the way, does this job come with snacks?" The palace groaned again as the officials shouted, "Somebody hide the peaches." Moral of the story: even the clever and powerful should control their pride and temper, because causing trouble just to prove you're important can turn the whole world upside down. Thanks for listening. I will see you in the next video. Till then, take care and bye-bye.